Interview questions. Can you tell us about yourself? Stay tuned. Hey everybody, this is Zach with IT Career Questions, and today I'm going to help you answer this interview question. Can you tell us about yourself? So this is one of those questions that I don't really like as part of the interview, but it is one of those questions that they like to throw at you because you can answer that any way that you like. They are looking for basically whatever you want to tell them there. A lot of the times, they already have your resume, so they know all of your skills, your history, your experience, things like that. So they already know what you are capable of, tech-wise, IT-wise. So when they are asking you, tell us about yourself, it's not necessarily saying, okay, well, tell us everything that we already know on this resume that we have right here in front of us, because they already have it. They don't want to hear what they already know. When they say tell us about yourself, that is your time to really tell them something that they might not know about you. What really stands out about you? What are some characteristics or hobbies or things about you that a company might really appreciate in one of their employees? Do you do volunteer work? Is that not on your resume? Tell them about how you volunteer. Do you like to help people? Tell them about that. If you do a lot of stupid, crazy things in your free time, I wouldn't necessarily tell them that. When you tell them about yourself, typically what I do when, I get asked about myself is, I'll say, well, I'm 30 something years old, I have a family, I have, two daughters, one's 9, one's 5. In my free time, I like to do photography. I like to do 3D printing. And then I'll kind of talk about the other tech things that I like to do, and that's like what I'm doing right now. I'll go into more detail on like the 3D printing stuff, or just more things that I kind of like to do at home that is more tech related, but not necessarily stuff that they would see, on my resume. But it's just more feeding them things about me that relate to technology, also relate to how passionate I am about technology. So it's kind of just giving them, here's this little background about me personally, here's my little personal side, and then here are the things that I do that really keep me engaged in the field that I'm in, So that's kind of what I like to do when people say, tell us about yourself. And I can't stand that question to begin with, because it's just kind of like, it's just a random question. It's just like, okay, well, everybody kind of stumbles on that one. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like, what do you want me to say about myself? How would you ask me questions and then I'll answer you? Like, how about you ask me like specific questions and I'll answer you? That's what I'm always like, want to say back. How about you ask me a specific question and then I'll answer you? But it's always hard to say, like, answer that. Tell me about yourself. And you're like, oh my God. But going forward now, I'm kind of giving you, here's like a guideline on what you can kind of do for that tell me about yourself, Give them a little brief rundown on the personal side of you, If you don't have, kids, family, whatever, that's fine, Say, you like to go rollerblading or whatever, you like to BMX and, go down to the beach and put your toes in the sand or whatever, just like a brief little paragraph that takes up like maybe like 30 seconds on something that's really personal about you. That's really about all you really need to say. That's really personal about you, about yourself. That's all you need to say. And then take another, 30 seconds to a minute to really emphasize something that is going to be related to your job that you're applying for, that doesn't seem like you're really pushing it in some way. Like I said, I like to kind of emphasize, the hobbies and things that I do, which really strongly emphasize IT. That's what I do. What I'm doing right now really strongly emphasizes IT. you know, so I always try to promote what I'm doing, and that always helps. And then I get asked more questions about that. Oh, really? What do you do there? What do you talk about there? And I'm like, oh, well, I do this and I talk about this. Like, oh, that's great. That's great. That's awesome. So you might obviously won't get that if you don't do a YouTube channel like me, but maybe you should. Anyway, do some things like that. Talk about things like, you know, just all that day-to-day stuff that you might do to keep yourself engaged in technology, and that should help you out during that tell us about yourself question. So that is my tip for you for that very question, because believe me, I don't like it either, just as much as you don't. So I hope that helps somewhat. If it doesn't, I don't know, leave me a comment and tell me, hey, this doesn't help, I didn't like that. I'll appreciate that. But that's all I got for you today. Hope it helps. As always, take it easy.